Hello and welcome to this episode of Hampton Roads Business Live. I'm Rory Graham, I'm your host, and today we have the pleasure of having Corrynn Peters from the law firm of Phillips and Peters, a family law firm in Norfolk. Welcome.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Nice to have you here. I thought we'd start with telling us, I'll tell you what, before we get into your background, why don't you just tell us what family law is?
Well, family law, the way I see it, is any law that touches on the family. So Phillips and Peters does everything from drafting separation agreements or marital agreements for parties who are still together and looking forward to separating, to appealing cases to the Court of Appeals when maybe it hasn't gone your way, or responding to appeals for other parties who will appeal it. Domestic violence issues, we do defend assault and battery cases, do protective orders, that sort of thing. Child support, custody, visitation, anything that really touches the family, we do.
Okay. Well, tell us about your background.
Well, I was born in Canada, actually, and I came to the United States when I was 12, and so I'm a naturalized citizen and love this country and love the law, and that's really how I ended up getting into the law. Mm-hmm. And I graduated from Regent University for my law degree and loved Hampton Roads so much, just decided to stay and serve the community in this capacity.
Okay, and you are in a partnership with Kimberly?
Correct, Kim Phillips.
Okay, and now the areas that we're going to talk about with you, you gave me a couple of areas to talk about, so I'm just going to mention them, and then you can fill me in as to what that means. Okay.
Sure.
All right, because I'm no attorney. All right, so let's talk about. You gave me a category called appellate practice.
Yeah.
Okay, can you tell us what is appellate practice?
So, as you know, we do divorce, as I mentioned that. We do various other trial litigation in connection with the family law. And when something doesn't go your way, or something doesn't go the way that the other party believes it should, you have the opportunity to appeal it to the Court of Appeals. It's an appeal as a matter of right.
I see, okay, all right.
And it's an appellate review, so the Court of Appeals is reviewing the case for legal error or an abuse of discretion.
Is this a board of judges, or?
It's a court full of judges, and they generally sit in 3-judge panels. Okay. So I have taken cases to the Court of Appeals in the past and have argued before a 3-judge panel. And in one particular case, we had both equitable distribution matters appealed, which involves the distribution of marital property. Mm-hmm. And then we also had a custody portion of it appealed, which is somewhat difficult to get the Court of Appeals to overturn a custody case unless there's some sort of legal error that is committed by the trial judge. Mm-hmm. So it's a lot of work. It's a lot of Monday morning quarterbacking, I guess you could say, right. Because you're looking back at the trial transcript and trying to show to the Court of Appeals where the trial judge went wrong. And it's difficult to do on a custody case, but easier to do maybe in some of the other circumstances. So, which is another reason why we pay so much attention to what we do at trial, because we have the eye for the appeal, because we are familiar with what you have to show on appeal. We pay even closer attention, I think, to what we do during a trial, because we're trying to preserve appeals if needed and make sure the other side doesn't have anything to appeal.
I was going to say, to make sure the other side doesn't see your mistake.
Exactly.
Okay.
So that's, we're really trying to develop that area right now as well. I've done a few in the past and have that experience in developing it.
So do you find yourself in court a great deal of the time?
Sometimes every day of the week.
Really?
This week, thankfully, was lighter, but we are in court all the time.
All the time.
We really are litigators.
Okay. All right. So if someone has a problem, you work towards a settlement if possible. But if that's not possible, then you're not afraid to go to court. I mean, you're a litigator.
Exactly.
And
on that point, let me say that the professional guidelines set up for attorneys actually require us, as part of our skill, as part of our competence, to have a problem-solving strategy, to have skills in negotiation. So a lot of people who are looking for a family law attorney start off looking for, in their words, usually a bulldog. Mm-hmm. And so we can do that. You know, we can fight if we need to. It costs a lot of money to fight, and but we also want to have that problem-solving strategy for clients, to say, we're not here just to take your money. We're not here to have you pay for our next vacation, but we're here to help you move forward. And that's, you know, part of what we've designed our firm to do, is help families move forward in the right direction and solve the problems that they're in, to the extent we can. We can't solve every problem, right, but we need to have that problem-solving strategy. Mm-hmm. And if
well, you certainly got a good outlook for you know, dealing with tough situations.
Well, thank you.
All right, so the next thing on this list, I'm at a little bit of a loss. It's GAL.
GAL stands for guardian ad litem, and it's basically
doesn't mean any more to me than
right.
GAL. Okay.
So it's a guardian ad litem is an attorney who is appointed for a child in a case. It's you're the guardian for that matter for the child. And so when parents are disputing custody, oftentimes the parents are so embroiled in their disputes that they aren't looking out for the best interests of the child. So the court will appoint a guardian ad litem to make recommendations.
So those are all appointed by the court?
They are all appointed by the court. Now, sometimes the state pays the guardian ad litem, and sometimes the parents have to pay, but the court appoints it. So we do quite a bit of that work, and it helps us to understand, when we're representing clients in custody cases, what a guardian ad litem is looking for, what might appeal to a guardian ad litem and what might not, in making a recommendation to the court about what is in the best interest of that child.
I see. Okay. And the next item on the list is custody.
Custody.
I know what that one is.
Right, right. And I think, again, that's probably one of the most important things that we do, is fighting for custody, and being able to communicate to our clients when it's, you know, what things are worth fighting for and what things are, you know, sort of small potatoes, as it were. Things not worth fighting over. Okay.
I just had a thought occur to me. Do you ever have people fight against custody? They don't want custody?
They don't want custody?
And they say, you take him. I was just wondering if there's ever an occasion for that.
I've never had where both parents are doing that.
Oh, okay.
I suppose it could happen, but usually it's just one parent who doesn't want it, and it goes smoothly by.
Okay, all right. I don't know why that thought popped in my head. Protective orders. We would know those as restraining orders, right?
Correct. Okay. That's sort of generally how people know them, and that gets into the domestic violence aspect. We do have a lot of that. We have to deal with a lot of that. You can imagine, you know, emotions run high during this time of separating, and so we often have to deal with domestic assault or even threats and that sort of thing. So protective order is a very valuable tool that we can use to protect our clients. Mm-hmm. It's often abused, and we also respond to protective orders when it is being abused.
You mean someone's violated it?
Well, no, the request for the protective order. Oftentimes people will request protective orders to gain an advantage in the divorce, say, I see. To you know, get the exclusive use and possession of the home or get custody of the children. And so we have to respond to that. In fact, I co-authored an article that talked about that balance that judges have to find in determining, is this real, is this not real. Some are real clear, mm-hmm. Some are not. So.
Okay, all right, so it's not all black and white.
Exactly.
Okay, all right, and equitable distribution.
Equitable distribution is, again, just distributing the property within the marriage. And we list it as a separate category because there's, you know, basically, let me say this, there are three aspects you have to deal with in divorce. You have, you know, support matters, you have the children, and then you have the property. Mm-hmm. And equitable distribution deals with the property. And in Virginia, there are 12 factors that the court takes into consideration in making a determination about how to distribute the property. And it's not equal a lot of people think that it's equal 50-50, and it's not. It's equitable. Sometimes the judges default to that. But you have to know the law well enough and understand the circumstances and know the facts well enough that when you can communicate, you can communicate to your client when you can expect more and when you can expect that 50-50. So it's a matter of just knowing your case, and that's why we listed it as a separate category, so that it's important to know those facts outside of the other things that we've already discussed.
Okay. Now I know that your firm is unique in a couple of areas, and one of them is in the way you set up your communication with clients. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
We feel like communication is extraordinarily important, and probably one of the number one complaints that the bar receives as far as complaints about attorneys is that they don't communicate. And oftentimes clients come into our office, they've had previous counsel, and they really have no idea what's going on in their case. So what we try to do is right from the beginning give them information about what the process is going to be, give them a plan and outline of what we're going to be doing, and then continue that communication along the way. Whenever anything happens in their case, they know about it immediately, or within 24 hours. When they call, somebody is either responding via email or telephone quickly. We have paralegals who are assigned to each client who will also do that communicating if we're in court. And we tell them up front, you may not hear from us within 2 hours of your call. It might be 24 hours because we're in court. So as long as there's that communication and clients know what to expect, they're happy. It's not that hard.
Yeah. Well, I know, because I feel that way too. If they just tell me what's going on, then I can deal with it. But when you don't hear anything, then you're left to thinking all kinds of things.
Sure.
All right. Is there anything we haven't touched on? We covered a number of things, but is there something I missed that you'd like to talk about?
I just would like to point out, Phillips and Peters, we designed the firm to be a firm that is dedicated to the family and the strength of the family in all its forms. Sometimes it's not ideal. Sometimes it's not how people imagine their family will be like, but we want to help strengthen their families, whatever it looks like. And so we're there to serve our clients, and we've everything that we put in place is to serve them. For a fee, of course, but but it's designed to serve the clients and to really do the best job that we can.
And you work with people from all over the Hampton Roads area, including the peninsula.
Correct.
And so if they have a family problem, marriage, divorce, any of the things that we talked about, they'd be a candidate for giving you a call.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And,
anything that touches their family.
Okay. And then you schedule a consultation with them, or?
Yeah, we do. We schedule a consultation. We do charge a fee, and that's just to show that they're serious, about actually receiving some legal advice. We spend about an hour with them, and if we can't help them, we tell them. And more often than not, though, we can help them. We quote them a fee, and we hit the ground running. So.
Okay, all right. Well, I've enjoyed talking with you. And if you find yourself in need of a family lawyer, then give the firm of Phillips and Peters a call, and I'm sure Corrynn can help you, or one of the paralegals.
Absolutely.
Can help you if she's in court, and help you with your legal matter. They're located in Norfolk. The contact information is at the bottom of this page and at the conclusion of this video. I thank you for coming in, and I wish you a great deal of success.
Very good. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.